When I learned how to change golf grips, it seemed easy enough to do, so I did it. But like most do-it-yourself jobs, there were certain snags that of course made it aggravating. For years I'd put up with the problems, or would ignore them. However, it occurred to me that going to an expert might be a good idea. There are some tricks you don't find in the standard instructions, and I'm going to share them with you. Bob Van Sweden has twice been named TaylorMade's Club Fitter of the Year and knows all the ins and outs of grip changing. So I came to him to get his expert grip tips and address my list of top gripes on grips. Here are some things you might already know, but be sure to keep in mind. Have a rubber holder for the club in the vise and don't crush the shaft. And whether steel or graphite, use a hook knife rather than a straight edge to cut the grip. And once you have the grip off, this is probably the most aggravating task. They tell you to use a tool like this to scrape the tape, but it's tedious at best.
Using a heat gun is probably one of the easiest ways. Heating up the tape will get the tape on the back side of it softer, gooier, easier to peel off, especially with graphite. You want to be careful. You don't want to use a torch flame on graphite shafts because you'll ruin the shaft. But a heat gun or a high pressure hair dryer will work very well to soften that tape up so you can peel it off and then get that clean.
To get the last pieces of tape off, I use Goop Off or Goop Gone. But Bob recommends using a citrus-based adhesive remover. Grip tape is another item to make your job easier. Use the 2-inch tape. I learned a long time ago that spiral wrapping tape was only for the seasoned experts.
I like to use 2-inch tape much more than spiral wrapping. It goes completely around the shaft. It's an even line of tape, and it's much easier for the grip to slide on that way than if you spiral wrap with 1/4-inch tape. You have gaps in between where it's just raw shaft, and that's when the grip can get to the point where it'll stick and hold.
Leave about an inch over the top where you can give it a twist and push it into the shaft to make a waterproof seal. When your club is prepped and in place, here are 2 other tips. First, the solvent.
My opinion has always been to use paint thinner. Odorless paint thinner or odorless mineral spirits is the best formula to use when you're putting grips on.
Another tip, you're instructed to put a T in the new grip hole and then pour the solvent out the other end. Messy. Bob uses his finger to block the bottom and then using the much smaller hole runs solvent over the entire length of the tape. Much more precise. The other killer in grip changing is an evil spirit, one that despite immaculate preparation, lots of paint thinner, and acting fast, keeps the grip from sliding on. When this happens and you're stuck, getting the damn thing off is nearly impossible. Well, here's what you can do about it. First, prevention is the best medicine, so make sure you have this little plastic tool, the grip spreader. You put the narrow end into the grip, push hard and fast, and then pull to get the spreader out. But if your grip is still stuck, there is one last solution.
Solution is a needle gun. Needle guns run around $50 to $75. You're injecting into the side of the grip along the base wall of the shaft. It's going along the side of that, and then you pump the fluid in. It builds up back pressure, expands the grip, and then you can work the grip off again and get the tape loose.
Well, that's a pro's solution. I guess I'll just have to eat a grip now and then if I still screw up. When the grip's finally on, you can rotate it slightly to get the alignment where you want it, in the vise or on the ground. Many, but not all, grips have little marks to help you do this. And in just an hour, you're ready to test your handiwork. Now, despite all this knowledge, if you still have problems or want a professional to do the job, contact Bob Van Sweden at www.golfrepaircenter.com. And that should give you a handle on any gripping problems.